All right, we've got Jonathon VanDam currently sitting in 7th place, just over 13 pounds after day 1, Group B qualifying. This is on Douglas Lake in Tennessee, just east of Knoxville, Tennessee. He did most of his damage back here in the back of this creek. We're going to check out Google Earth and the weather and see what we can find out about it. All right, a couple things to note before we play this footage from the tournament. This is a spot where Jonathon VanDam was doing most of his damage on this day 1, Group B. You can see back here we've got some inflow, definitely a big reason of why he's here in the back of this creek, some fresh water flowing in. And we've got some rock transitions on the right and the left. Little secondary point here, tiny little point, little change of direction of the inflow right there that he's actually fishing. And for spot identification, we've got some bridge abutments here, long green roofed overhang building over what used to be a creek bed. You can see the water is about 22 feet low right now at Douglas Lake. And up here we've got some pretty identifiable houses with a big yard and a pretty squared off fence that we'll talk about later when we're finding this spot. So here we go. You can see he threw all the way back up in there, right next to that inflow.
Nice one too. Stay on, please.
Pause it right there. A little blurry. He's using a small swim bait. Probably a 3-inch swim bait. You can see there's a little lead ball head jig that he's fishing it on with his spinning gear.
Wow. Yes.
Chartreuse color.
That's a good one.
2 pounds, 4 ounces. 2.4.
All right, so Douglas Lake. We got to find this spot on Douglas Lake in Tennessee. I don't know the Tennessee area. I'm from Washington, Colorado. I've been around, but not to Tennessee, so let's get started. All right, there's Knoxville. No, it's to the east. Dand Ridge, there it is. Douglas Lake. I believe there's about 500 miles of shoreline here that we're gonna sift through, and I'm not gonna put you through that. I'm just gonna show you what I do. Just looking for those key objects, which was that long green roof. There's an inflow, there's a creek coming in, so you can quickly rule out most of the areas. So we just kind of go down the shoreline, looking for an inflow of a creek that might match the kind of stuff Jonathon was fishing. Oh, this looks like it. Let's pull up the picture to compare. Oh. All right, so we have got our bridge abutments. It looks like there. Blue topped boat back there. You can see the top of the boat. Looks like there. Long green top building is this one. And we've got our squared off yard up here. This is it. All right, let's go on to step 2. All right, now that we found the spot he was fishing, we want more answers, right? We want to see a topo map of what the bottom of that lake looks like, what he was actually targeting. And we pretty much know the answer to that because he was fishing an inflow in the back of a creek, and we saw the rock transitions, and he was fishing up really shallow. But Navionics web app is a free way for us to look and see more specifically anything we might miss under the surface. So here's Tennessee, looking for Knoxville. There's Knoxville. There's Douglas Lake. All right. Right up in here, called Rimmer Creek, where he was. All right, so here we've got what we saw, that creek bed coming up into the back. This is where the inflow was. These are where the bridge abutments would be, but they're out of water. You saw the lake is about 22 feet low. So we're just kind of guessing that he's casting and fishing right up here, which is just a couple feet deep then, and really fishing this stuff and this stuff. So he's got the inflow here, and he's got the last bit of steep cover that leads into deep water way in the back near that inflow. So these bass can hold on this, come up to the inflow, feed, come back to this, go up and down it easily. And also he's got a little bit of a shallow point here that he can fish if the fish are going to stack up on that. So yeah, good on Jonathan for finding this spot or being the first one to it. I know other guys fished it throughout the previous days and probably the same day he did, but he was on it at a good time with his small swim bait and a blade bait as well. Okay, for water level, 968.75 feet, 21 and a quarter feet below full pool. It's been this way for quite a long time, so that's not really a factor, I don't think. What could be a factor with water level is 7 days ago on March 13th, it peaked at 971, and now current reading is 968. So 3 feet drop in 7 days leading up to a tournament. Those anglers had to adjust for that, I think, more so than it just being 21 feet low. Weather is another big factor for this tournament. So it started on Saturday the 18th, and you can see here Thursday and Friday leading up to the tournament, high of 66, high of 63. Saturday, kind of post-rain on Friday, moving into Saturday, early morning, high of 41, high of 50 throughout the day. A little bit of cloud cover, 12-mile-an-hour winds, you're getting a little breezy, and even further down on Sunday to a high of 37 throughout the whole entire day, and light winds. You're getting some warming up as of Monday for the latter half of the tournament. This tournament goes to the 23rd of March, but just a cold shock right at the start of the tournament can make it very tough. And as you saw, they're fishing generally like Jonathan was, with a small swim bait, a blade bait, keeping it small, keeping it slow, except for Dudley, and maybe we'll cover what Dudley did. But the rest of them, we're keeping it pretty small, pretty slow, jerk baits, that type of stuff. Water temperature, I believe, is in the low 50s, but you get a cold snap like this and it can throw everything, throw a wrench into everything. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you at the next spot.